On the island, Ralph and Piggy always held the ideal of putting down roots and building a civilized society. But under crisis, they had to turn to the sea. They expected rescuers to come from the ocean, believing it represented long-term benefits, while Jack's group remained intoxicated with land resources. Even the so-called beast in these beautiful landscapes and immediate benefits didn't deter them. It instead fueled their competitiveness and reinforced their belief in settling the land. To them, gathering and hunting could fulfill all needs, even satisfy ambitions to dominate others. Golding suggests that abundant resources prevent people from abandoning tribal lifestyles like hunting and gathering. Building civilization requires meticulous work, constructing houses, farming, labor division, and establishing laws. Democracy means every decision requires discussion. Compared to tribes, civilized societies act less efficiently. They also appear more vulnerable against external threats. Initially, we saw opposition between Ralph and Jack representing civilization versus savagery. But now the story has spawned multiple new conflicts. Conflicts between fire tending and hunting, building shelters versus cave dwelling, ocean versus land, long-term versus immediate interests. These numerous oppositions signify complete group fragmentation. When Jack's tribe hunts another boar, they've fully transformed into a primitive tribe, completely rejecting Ralph's original vision. Jack's tribe slaughters the boar together, reveling in the bloody thrill of killing. Jack personally guts the boar and impales its head on a stake, declaring it an offering to the beast. Clearly, such ritual sacrifices to deities are hallmarks of tribal societies. Later, they taunt Ralph's group with roasted pork, exploiting the hungry beach dwellers' weakness to the aroma. During this revelry, the mystical Simon slips away to the butterfly-filled clearing in the jungle. He sits down, closes his eyes, and the grotesque pig's head materializes in his mind. Golding writes that Simon's half-closed eyes revealed infinite pessimism about adult life. He was convinced everything in the world was inherently evil. When he opened his eyes, the boar's head loomed before him, surrounded by flies yet still grinning. This fly-covered pig's head is the titular Lord of the Flies. Facing the grinning Lord of the Flies, Simon lowered his head and covered his eyes as the creature began to speak. "You're just a foolish brat. Better run play with others before they think you're crazy, especially Ralph," the Lord sneered. "No one will help you. Only me, the beast. I'm part of you," it hissed. "You're inseparable, understand? I'm the root of all evil. Know why things turned out this way?" The Lord repeated, "We'll join them or we'll kill you. Jack and Roger will kill you. Even Ralph and Piggy will kill you. Get it?" Overwhelmed, Simon collapsed unconscious. Why did Golding make Simon confront this horrific entity? The purest soul meeting ultimate corruption shows how goodness faces savage temptation. While civilization clashes with nature through Ralph and Jack's feud, Simon represents benevolent primal forces connected to nature. Simon acts as spiritual medium. Though aligned with Ralph's group, he maintains connection to Jack's world. His communion with nature mirrors shamans, contrasting the boar's head, symbolizing natural evil. Yet this grotesque artifact originates from human hunting, embodying savage instincts. It concentrates humanity's inherent malice. When the Lord says, "I am the beast," it reveals the monster within human hearts. Human evil resides within hearts, driving events to such catastrophic ends. The Lord of the Flies warns Simon that he's part of this darkness, urging him to join the others. This represents the entity's demand for Simon to embrace and unleash his inner savagery. Nature itself becomes conquered by brutality, forcing the virtuous to conform. Regaining consciousness, Simon climbs the mountain and discovers the beast is actually a pilot's corpse. Fighting nausea, he disentangled the rotting body from its parachute. He resolves to reveal the beast's true nature to everyone. Meanwhile, the children swarm around Jack as Ralph and Piggy futilely try maintaining order. The feast devolves into manic laughter and primal consumption. As rain pours, Jack leads the tribe in a frenzied chant. Kill the beast! Cut its throat! Spill its blood! Nature's fury accelerates their descent into madness. Lightning illuminates Simon staggering toward the crowd through torrential rain. Without hearing his explanation, the mob, including Ralph and Piggy, attacks him as the beast. In this moment, all rationality dissolves into collective savagery. The storm intensifies, scattering the children for shelter. Simon's corpse washes out to sea, blood staining the sands. The wind drags the pilot's corpse down, triggering terrified screams. Golding dedicates over 1,000 words to Simon's moonlit sea burial, the novel's most tragic sequence. Golding stated Simon embodies Christ, offering love and salvation only to be murdered. Now we're murderers, Ralph admits, overwhelmed by isolation. Jack's tribe rationalizes the killing as beast slaying, making Simon barbarism's martyr. In Golding's narrative, the true beast is the savagery and violence within the children's hearts, awakened by primal instincts. At nightfall, Jack's tribe raids Ralph's camp, stealing Piggy's glasses, the island's only fire-making tool. To destroy civilization, savagery must seize and weaponize scientific achievements. Discovering the theft at dawn, Ralph's group has no choice but to confront Jack's tribe. But what use is negotiation now? Jack's armed tribe commands Ralph's group to leave immediately. They even bind two of Ralph's followers as prisoners. The story reaches its climactic tension. Ralph and Jack face each other in final combat. Unlike typical hero narratives where perseverance triumphs, no such victory occurs in Lord of the Flies. As Ralph battles Jack, the nearly blind Piggy makes one last effort. Holding the conch aloft, he tries reaffirming the fire's importance from a cliff edge. Roger dislodges a boulder that crushes Piggy, sending him tumbling 40 meters onto jagged rocks. The shattered conch, symbol of democracy, marks civilization's complete collapse alongside Simon and Piggy's deaths. Ralph survives but faces relentless pursuit by the tribal children. Jack forcibly recruits Ralph's remaining followers through violence, savagery's absolute triumph. While fleeing, Ralph encounters the Lord of the Flies' grinning skull in the forest. The bleached skull maintains its mocking expression, though silent now. Ralph smashed the pig's head with a stick until it shattered, as if retaliating against its mockery. Brandishing the stick, Ralph retreated while glaring at the broken skull. After this suffocating confrontation, Ralph infiltrated Jack's territory under cover of darkness. The captured boys stood guard at the tribal camp. Recognizing Ralph, they secretly shared meat and urged him to flee before Jack's detection. If Jack or Roger find you, you're dead, they warned. Ralph's attempt to recruit them failed, leaving him exhausted and hiding in thick foliage. Dawn revealed Jack torturing the boys who helped Ralph escape. The narrative shifts to Ralph's solitary perspective: tribal chants, dangerous terrain, and spreading wildfires. Vines tripped him, thorns shredded his clothes, his body becoming a map of wounds. Nature turned predator. Shadowy figures materialized, spears whistling through air. Ralph became trapped in a vortex of primal emotions: rage, terror, despair. He finally collapsed on the beach, utterly broken. As hunters closed in, salvation arrived unexpectedly. A naval officer appeared. "We saw your signal fire. Having fun playing war?" Tribal children emerged from smoke, painted, half-feral, barely recognizable. The officer's casual inquiry revealed darker truths beneath the game. "Two dead bodies lost," the boys mumbled. "Your British boys should have behaved better," the officer chided uncomfortably. The rescued children shuffled toward the ship like spectral figures. Ralph wept while gazing at the island, now hellscape of smoke and ashes. His first unrestrained crying triggered collective grief among the boys. They wept uncontrollably, filthy and disheveled. At the center stood Ralph, convulsing with grief for lost innocence and humanity's corruption, mourning Piggy's brutal death and Simon's tragic sacrifice. The novel concludes with this haunting portrait of Ralph. We seldom appreciate societal structures like laws and morality until they're gone. What happens when civilization crumbles and primal instincts take over? Through Lord of the Flies, Golding shows civilization's fragile triumph over barbarism. Golding stated the novel traces societal flaws to human nature's defects. His wartime experiences shaped this pessimistic worldview. Enlisting in 1940, Golding witnessed two 81's naval battles and France's liberation. Observing fascist atrocities and post-war moral collapse cemented his beliefs. She concluded humanity's evil causes all catastrophes. Civilization merely contains, but can't eliminate, this inherent darkness. Golding believed human nature fails under survival's pressure. Self-interest and ambition inevitably threaten democracy's foundations. Ironically, Ralph's group's virtues weakened their resistance to evil. As the afterword notes, human future holds hope, but blind optimism proves no wiser than earnest pessimism. This concludes our exploration of Lord of the Flies. Study notes await below the audio. Until tomorrow,